All right, guys, we are back with another episode. For the people that have been here since episode one, thank you so much for rocking with me. We are on this self care journey together, but also with ourselves. And I appreciate you for taking this time out to check me out and hear what I have to say about it. Give you some tips so that you can be a better version of yourself. As always, do what's best for you. All right, so today we're talking about learning to forgive yourself as a form of self care. Let's dive into it. Forgiving yourself as a form of self care is an act of releasing guilt, shame, or regret. It allows you to have peace, emotional well being, and here are some things that can help you with that. Acknowledging mistakes without judgment. Own your actions. Recognize the things you've done that you may regret, but without harsh judgment towards yourself. Understand that mistakes are a part of being human. That's one thing that I always taught my kids. It's okay to make a mistake. Because what you think is a mistake is really not even a mistake. It's just helping you to learn. Simple. Separate the action from the identity. We see a lot of people get caught up in drugs and in drinking and just lifestyles that don't benefit them because they don't do this one right here. By separating the action from the identity. Just because something happened doesn't mean that's who you are. That's just a part of who you were. Something that happened to you. Remind yourself that one wrong action doesn't define who you are. Instead of labeling yourself as a bad or unworthy type of person, acknowledge that you're a person capable of growth. You always hear me say this. I'm always going to say this. I am always learning. I love to learn. I love to grow. If we're not growing, we're not doing anything to help this world. So you have to give yourself grace, and you have to know that you're on a growth journey. This is a journey that you're supposed to take your time on and to understand it. That's it. Reframing from negative self-talk. This was one of my biggest things when I was going through so many different phases in my life. I would always talk to myself negative, and I'd be like, well, because I allowed this in my life, it just continuously let me do this, and I'm not a good person, and I don't need this, and everybody is just doing too much. I never was really taking accountability for the things that I was doing. And I was always having so much doubt and talking to myself crazy. So if I'm talking to myself crazy, imagine what I was saying to people around me. Replace criticism with compassion. When critical thoughts arise, pause and intentionally replace them with more compassionate ones. I used this technique when I was going through the loss of my brother. And it really put me in a different perspective to just change everything in an instant, even though it's kind of like hard for you to do so. I'm like, anytime that I would get a feeling where I just wanted to start crying, I'm just going to start spelling the word happy and say happy and just start smiling. Like, do the complete opposite because I just don't want to cry right now. I had to really pull myself out of me sinking into. At the time, I felt like it was a negative feeling because I had cried so much. I'm like, what else can I do? Like, you can't bring him back. You get to a point sometimes with yourself, you're like, there's nothing that you can do about it. Move on. And I did that to really just pull myself out of the funk. And it allowed me to realize that it's okay for me to feel the feelings. Just don't stay there. Because once I started to feel them, I started to get depressed. The whole day is over. I don't give a fuck what I gotta do. I'm calling off. I need some time to heal. I need to cry. I'm just going through so much. I just continuously allowed myself to just feel like I was beat down and broken, and I wasn't. And so when my brother passed away and I started this new technique, it opened up my eyes to healing better. Me, I don't even like to say that I'm trying. When people are like, I'm just trying. You're not trying. You're actually doing. If you're here, you're breathing, you're showing up, you're doing it. I did my best with what I knew at the time. That's a big one right there. Saying that I did my best with what I knew at the time is really going to set you apart from other people because now you can really show up and say, that was what I had and that's what I gave. Moving on. Some people stay so stuck and they cannot move on. Again, everybody's going to go through something. No matter what type of trauma you went through, do not stay there. And some people don't even know that they're there. They think that their life is just so beautiful. It's just so amazing. Until now, here it is, you're triggered. And all those emotions come back up. And you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to talk about it. No. I thought you were healed. I thought you was good. Now you're triggered. Now you want to start showing different types of emotions and you want to get crazy for what? This is a healing journey. You have to understand that some things you're healed from and some things you're still healing. Acknowledging those things and reminding yourself to be compassionate with yourself. Giving yourself gentle reminders, some types of affirmations that you can say is, I'm growing, I deserve grace. And over time, these things will really start to reshape your mind and allow you to show up better for yourself. Celebrate your growth. Focus on the progress you've made rather than the moments you stumbled. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience. Creating space for healing. Allow yourself to feel emotions. Don't suppress or rush your feelings. Give yourself the space to feel regret, disappointment, or sadness. We do that a lot, especially in my house. The youngest two, they kind of like really get in their emotions and they'll just blow up. You agree? Right. They allow their emotions to just get the best of them sometimes, and then they'll come back and be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. And it's like, man, you took it to this level when it only needed to be here. But in their minds, they felt like it was all the way up there. So I don't shun them for feeling that way. It's just like, hey, we could have done better with handling certain situations. And I love that we have that as a family where we can talk about certain things. Sometimes they don't want to talk. I respect your space because sometimes I definitely don't want to talk. So respect mine. But create space for your healing. Take moments throughout the day to check in with yourself and notice the tension or self-blame that you may have. Pause and gently remind yourself that it's okay to be imperfect. That's something that you can write in your journal as like a to-do list, things that you want to do throughout the day. If I find myself getting emotional, I'll go to my journal and I'll write. If I find myself getting so emotional where I just don't want to talk to anybody, wherever I'm at, whether it's at your job, at school, an event, you're going to say, you know what, let me excuse myself and walk off. If I need to go and scream, I'm going to go scream. If I need to go in the bathroom and just look in the mirror and tell myself to pick myself up, I'm going to do that. That's allowing yourself space to have those emotions because it may get overwhelming. And that's okay. It can be overwhelming. Don't stay there. Release what's beyond your control. After taking responsibility, give yourself, even if others may not forgive you, forgive yourself. Understand that you cannot control their reactions and you can only control your own. I had a conversation today with someone and I feel like I could have did a little bit better with the conversation because I should have went in knowing that this person still has the same mindset. And even though I want to reconnect with them because, it's necessary for us to reconnect, I want to go in and just say what I need to say and see what they have to say about it. So basically, this is what's been going on. This is what I need. When I started to do that, all I got was this. Not listening. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to say that. Who are you? Why do y'all feel like why are we doing this? I asked you, do you have time to talk? I asked you, can we talk? You agreed to it. If you didn't want to, you could have said no. We could have eliminated all of this. If you didn't want to hear my voice, it is what it is. But as adults, knowing that we have to communicate with each other, how about we just sit the fuck down and learn how to communicate with each other instead of making things so fucking hard? That's my point of view. Had I remembered who it was I was about to have a conversation with, I probably would have just texted him. I probably should have just texted him and just left it at that, a yes or no type of thing. Not saying how I feel about the situation and I believe that it was disrespectful and I'm just updating you and now I need to ask for, your help in areas that I haven't been asking for your help. I knew that they wasn't going to hear anything that I was saying. They didn't have the compassion. They don't want to have the compassion. They don't want to listen. Their minds is too small to have those types of conversations where they're very intellectual. And not saying that I'm the smartest person on the fucking world in the world, but I'm saying that with me understanding that who I am and where I am in my growth phase, I'm doing better at communicating with people. So if I'm doing that, I know that it's attracting other people that know how to communicate their feelings as well. And again, I was put in a situation where I had to talk to this person, whether it's text message, phone call, or whatever. Still have to have the conversation. Something still has to be said. But me, I believe that I could have just eliminated all of that by just sending them a text because their minds are too fucking small to even understand. Making amends when necessary. Take accountability. If your actions have hurt others, part of forgiving yourself may include making amends. Again, if you have to say sorry, if you have to apologize, do so, because if you don't do right by people, the universe, God, is not going to allow things to happen in your favor until you do right by the people that you have hurt. And that's why I understand that anytime that I make a step forward to do better, whether a door gets slammed in my face or whatever the case may be, I know that I still did what I need to do on my part so I can successfully move the fuck on and live that happy ever after that I desire. In some people's eyes, that may seem like I'm coming off as being better than them. Maybe. Because I choose happiness. And not to sit and sulk in the things that I've done and constantly believe that nobody wants to be there for me. I know that there are people there that want to be there for me because I show up and I want to be there for myself. So the people around me are going to make sure I'm good as well. Do right by other people and everything will start to lay out and happen for you. Release what's beyond your control. After taking responsibility, forgive yourself, and even if others may not forgive you, understand that you cannot control their reactions, only your own. Engage in self-care practices. Restore your energy. After forgiving yourself, engage in practices that nurture you, like taking a walk, meditating, doing those creative things, singing, watching a movie that's going to help you with the script that you may be working on, whatever the case may be. Something that you need to do to help you to be more creative and showing up for yourself, basically. Take care of your body. Sometimes self-blame manifests as neglecting physical health. Actively taking care of your body, eating well, staying active, resting is a way to show self-love and reaffirm your worth. Sometimes I can walk in a room and I can tell what type of people I'm dealing with. And even before I even show up to that room or decide that I even want to be there, I can ask certain questions and I can feel what type of people are going to be there. So if there's people that I know that I wouldn't really associate myself with on a regular basis that are going to be in this room, I'm not going to show up. Or if I have to be there, I know how to show up. See, I don't want to be around people that want to drink and smoke all day, because I understand that those people are acting out of a low vibrational energy. If you have to smoke and drink all day, you are suppressing something. You're using something that's in its most unnatural form to help you feel a certain way about yourself. Now, I'm not saying that it's not okay for you to indulge in what you feel like is for you to indulge in. You like to smoke, cool. But once it starts to become a habit that's not allowing you to show up, you late all the time, you have more money for drinking and smoking than you do to take care of your family, it's a problem. When those things are a problem, you need to take care of it. And again, sometimes people don't even feel like that's a problem. They feel like, shit, it's in my budget. I got money to do this and I got money to do that. But you also can tell that sometimes those people look the most fucking stressed. Why are you so stressed? They can't go a day without drinking. They can't go a day without smoking. They need it. That's a problem. You shouldn't need anything, especially if you're the type of person who's like, I don't need any damn body, but you need that bottle though. But you need that weed though. But you need to fuck you 10 bitches in 10 weeks, right? You need those things. But you don't need people to help you to heal and to put you on the right track that you're supposed to be on. Our minds be so fucked up sometimes. We don't realize that we're suppressing so much. And that we're consuming things that do not need to be in our fucking bodies. Most of the food that we eat don't need to be in our bodies, but because we love it, that southern meal them macaroni and cheese, them hams, them ribs. Can't get rid of it. You need it in your life. It's cracking it. Something. Gotta be. Like we can't do that. When you have to show up for yourself and understand that certain things become a habit, and when it's a bad habit, you have to release it. Learning from mistakes. Reflect on what you can learn from past mistakes rather than dwelling on them. Ask yourself, how can I grow from this? And use it as an opportunity for personal growth. I'm just a person that has learned from my mistakes, just like everybody else that's on these podcasts or on the radio or that's influencing you. We've all learned from mistakes, and when you see us sometimes, we show up in our highest selves. We look like we got everything because we keep showing up for ourselves. Because I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm not going to keep on doing the same fucking thing over and over again. Because most of the time, that shit hurt. Why do you want to keep hurting yourself? That shows that your self-esteem is very low, that you don't care about yourself, that you're going to risk so much. You're going to risk losing your house, risk losing the people that you love for drugs or for patterns that you know that you need to let go. At some point, you got to let it go. And that's what this means, showing up for yourself, showing yourself self-care, learning from your mistakes, letting these things go. Journal about it, talk about it, release that shit, and move the fuck on. Set your intentions for the future. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean ignoring past actions. It means resolving to do better in the future. Set your intentions to approach similar situations with greater awareness and compassion. When I find myself being in a situation where I'm like, okay, I remember this happening before, or I've dealt with this a few times, I'm a fucking pro. They say that you can make money off of anything once you've done it a few times, because now you've become a pro at it. So I've learned from so many of my mistakes, baby. You know what I'm doing? Sitting right in front of you, these 3 cameras right here, showing y'all that I fucked up and I made some mistakes. But guess what? I'm showing up for myself right now, and I've learned from them. And I'm giving some advice on how you can be a better version of yourself. I'm going to make money off this, to take care of myself, my children, my family, and to show other people that they can do this if this is what they desire. This might not be the best podcast out there, but I know it's going to be a damn sure impactful one. Trusting in your right to heal. Affirm your worthiness. Tell yourself regularly that you deserve to move on from the past. Forgiveness is a gift. You give yourself one that allows you to embrace healing and peace. And releasing shame. Understanding that shame often keeps you stuck in the past. By practicing self-forgiveness, you release the heavy burden of shame and open yourself to joy and self-acceptance. This one right here was a big one for me because I was so stuck in everything that was happening, me not feeling anybody was there for me, that I secluded myself and didn't allow myself to go out and just enjoy the experience. You're learning from it, or I've learned from it, and I move on and I go do better. I don't keep going to find the same person. I don't keep going to the same type of parties. I don't keep allowing myself to be in the same negative energy as people who talk down on other people, because guess what? As soon as I leave, they're going to do the same thing to me. So I'm trusting my right to heal. I'm telling myself that I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have a husband that's not going to do the things that was done to me, to my children. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to make the money that I know that I'm worth. I deserve to travel. I deserve to look good, feel good, eat the foods that I know that I want, that nourish my actual body, and not keep me in the damn hospital. I deserve all of that. And these are the things that I speak to myself. These are the things that you have to speak to yourself, and to speak to the ones that are around you as well, especially to the people that you may have hurt. If they are around, you speak positivity to them. I'm not coming to you negative. They want to get crazy, they want to get rowdy. It is what it is. Now you know to move around from them. You can't have another conversation with them because their minds are too small. This is a self-care journey. This is something that you have to understand, that this moment that you're in right now is going to be your past. Right now we are in the present. And your future can be as bright as you see it. But you have to take the time to imagine what that looks like. You have to take the time to write out what that looks like. So that's you showing up and doing the work, because there's only so much that the universe and God will do for you. There's only so much that your family can do for you. You have to show up for yourself. So with that, I want to tell you guys to continuously show up for yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive the people that have hurt you. Understand your mistakes are not who you are. They can't hold on to you. Only you can hold on to mistakes. You hold on to other people's mistakes, let them go. There are people in your life that you know don't need to be in your life, let them go. They serve you no purpose. And where you're going, that was just a part of who you were at the time. Let that go. Show more compassion to yourself. Remember that the affirmations that you speak will create your reality in the future. So if you want to be a millionaire, billionaire, you have to think like a boss. You have to be a boss. You have to go out here and do boss things. But you also have to understand what it's like to be an employee. Because once you become the boss, everybody's looking to you for a handout. Everybody's looking to you to take care of things. And if you don't show up like a boss, then now your whole empire is going to be gone. How you going to handle that? People crashing out every day. As fast as you can get it, you can lose it even faster. So be reminded that you're loved, you're appreciated. This is a journey. Take your time. Keep it moving. I love you. Bye.